It's the RIOT Podcast, Wednesday, May 24th edition. And today's show, Isaiah and I try to save your relationship. We've got some excellent advice. And don't just take our word for it. Jamie texted in as we were talking about something. He said, you guys are giving out great advice. I found out recently that it's not okay to like another female's post on Facebook, no matter how much clothes she's wearing. He says, my wife didn't appreciate me liking it. And then his reasoning is he's primarily a TikTok user where on TikTok you just like anything, at least for him. Do. And on Facebook, Jamie. She uses Facebook. You don't like stuff, apparently, at least not in her world. And so according to his recent findings, it's better to just not like other ladies' posts if you're in a relationship. That's the long and short of the advice we gave is just, if you're in a relationship, especially around this time of year, you got to dial back those likes. You got to curtail them, the likes and follows.
Oh, yeah, you have to. And now there's like so many more ways for you to like so many more things too. Okay. Like before, it was just like I'll use Instagram for reference, right? Because that's where the majority of these young people, they're getting in trouble because that's where all the photos are. Girls are posting their pictures there of them getting ready to go to the lake or whatever it is. And then the boyfriends, they're out there liking photos they should not be liking. And now another thing. So it used to be, this is new.
Okay.
It used to be how just liking a photo, that was like the only place you could like on somebody's Instagram profile, right?
Yeah.
And so if you wanted to get their attention, what you would do is you would like an old photo.
Ah, yeah, of course.
That was like how
Makes
you could
sense.
So that was like the thing is like if somebody liked your old photo, they're trying to pretty much say, reading in between the lines, you're very cute, right?
Yeah, that never worked for me.
That never worked for you?
No.
Well, let me tell you this. There's a whole new way to do it now.
Okay, what do you do now?
So now, and this is new, you know, like how you can post an Instagram story, right?
Of course.
That's only up for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And what you can do now is you can like Instagram stories.
Uh-huh.
Now, when you like an Instagram story, what that is telling the person the exact same thing. Liking an Instagram story.
Yeah, you're paying attention.
You're in there. And it's an easy way to slide into their DMs as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're on the Instagram stories now, you're liking that. You can't be liking Instagram stories if you're not trying to tell that person that you're interested. So if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend and you're on there liking Instagram stories, you better be careful. That's a dangerous spot.
Yeah, that's trouble right there. So that's all Isaiah and I were trying to save you. We want you to have a nice, happy relationship, and your relationship will be happier, boy or girl, man or woman, if you just ease up on the likes a little bit.
You gotta stop liking.
You don't have to like everything.
No, you don't.
No matter what platform you're on. And to me, that's how I always am. The only place where I like stuff, I still don't like everything, but on Twitter is where I'll give out the likes because I want to show appreciation for if somebody's to make me laugh or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not liking pictures on there.
No,
I intentionally avoid people that are posting pictures all the time on Twitter.
Yep. If you're liking, if you're liking pictures on Twitter, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you're just asking for trouble.
You sure are.
But if you're single, what you need to do is you need to start liking those Instagram stories.
All right.
I'm telling you, that's the way to slide in. Yeah, you slide in, you like on that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you like if they post a couple days in a row, you like one or two of them, and then you slide right in the DM. That's automatic.
I like how you turn this around too. This isn't just we give some advice to help save existing relationships from trouble. We also now have handed out some advice for if you're single, what to do to jumpstart things a little bit.
Oh, yeah, the Instagram story is the perfect way. And first, you like a couple of them, test the waters a little bit. Because doing a direct, slide in the DMs is an aggressive maneuver.
That's right.
If you just hit them with a hey, that's easy to ignore. But
that's like cold calling.
It is. It's
Nobody
like cold
wants
calling.
to do that.
But if you go on their Instagram story, and let's say maybe you comment on something. Maybe they went to the lake or something like that, and you can comment on it and be like, oh, I was just out there. I really love that place. You have a good time. Then that's way less intimidating.
It's showing that you're paying attention, and it's bringing you to their attention.
And when they deny you, you can play it off as like, oh, no, I was just being nice.
Yeah, just like the lake.
I wasn't trying to hit on you or anything crazy. I was just sliding in your DMs in a nice way.
A great lake. Yeah. That's all it is. Just a great place to pontoon.
So if you are in the relationship category, stay off social media. If you are single, you better get on there.
It's
on.
Start
liking.
It's on. All right.
We talked about that. We also talked about a little Would You Rather Wednesday. We talked about a plane flight that went terribly wrong, not in the air, but before they even got on the air. And then Hudson's new look, which I'm sure you can already
yeah, if you're watching the video
see it as
podcast,
well.
it's very clear that things are looking a little different. I would like somebody that is watching the video podcast to be like, what? To be like, he looks the same. What are you talking about?
It's his typical look.
Yeah, I don't see the difference.
So we don't have podcasts tomorrow.
That's right. The rest of this
or
week.
Friday.
Or
Not
Monday.
until Monday. Oh, no. It's
Monday's
Memorial Day. Not till Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. So
Sheesh.
enjoy your Memorial Day. Spend some time with some fun people. Just have a good time. And we will catch you on Tuesday.
In a while. See you guys soon.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
Isaiah, you notice anything different about me today?
You look different.
I do look different?
You got a different little feel to you.
In what way?
You're looking kind of preppy today.
Preppy, huh? Is that how you'd put it?
I'd say pretty preppy.
How would you describe it to the people?
Well, when Hudson usually comes in, he's wearing something that someone would probably cut wood in.
Yeah, I consider that a compliment.
And then today, he kind of looks like a little kid going to school.
A little kid, huh?
I would say you look like you're ready for your first day of possibly 7th grade.
7th grade, huh?
If you shaved your face, you would look wildly different right now.
You think so?
Yes.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a great thing. I think it brings a younger vibe to the show. And I keep on going back and forth off of like, if you look like a middle schooler, or if you look like a dad.
Yeah, that's what I don't know either. That's what I'm worried about.
I'm fighting both battles right now because I look at you sometimes and I'm like, he looks like a young child who's ready for his first day of school. And other times I'm like, you look like you came from the golf course.
This is a golf shirt.
Because you're rocking that polo. Is it silky?
Yeah, it's silky. It's like moisture wicking type material.
Do you feel more athletic in it?
I do feel more.
I
athletic.
bet you do. You feel like you could get around this morning.
I'm worried it's a little too form fitting.
So,
it could be.
So this morning when you woke up, and you were going through your closet, how did you end up on that?
Well, I was just thinking that maybe it's time for a change.
A mix up?
Yeah, to mix things up a little bit. And I've got, this shirt's been out of rotation for a while, but it's pretty. I mean, it's a nice shirt.
When was the last time you wore a collared shirt?
Well, I wear flannel a lot. That has a collar.
That doesn't count, no.
Then maybe like a wedding like a year ago or something.
No way.
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy.
If flannel doesn't count.
Flannel does not count.
Yeah, then I think that would be, that wedding would be possibly it. So it's been a while.
Yeah, that's a long time. For me, I mean, I wear a hoodie in here pretty much every single day. Mm-hmm. But in my like day-to-day life, I wear collared shirts a decent amount.
Yeah.
Polos and whatnot to golf and do other things. But you...
So this wouldn't be out of character for you.
No, I wear polos in the springtime pretty regularly. Like I wore one on Sunday to golf.
A new show thing.
Well, I'm not going to match you.
Well, no, wouldn't want to match completely, but it could just be like we're, this is just our show
What,
look.
the Polo Boys or something?
Yeah, the Polo Boys. I like that name.
No, I don't like it.
I think that's good.
I
Polo
think,
Brothers.
I think it possibly is like a you thing.
You think this can stick for me?
I don't think so.
No, it's not me. You think I can go sometimes polo, sometimes t-shirt?
Maybe.
You think this is going to stick out on our video podcast?
It's going to stick out like wild. It looks completely different.
Yeah.
You have a whole new vibe. I like when you wear...
Maybe it's time for a new vibe.
But I like when you wear denim on denim. The Canadian tuxedo.
I have liked that. And I can't wear my jean jacket with this.
Because it really
with
just...
this Under Armour golf shirt.
You can't do that.
That would be a wild look.
But all the denim, I think it's really you. But this morning, with that on, you're giving a whole new vibe.
A whole new vibe, huh?
I'm excited to hear what you have to say with that on.
Yeah, it might bring a whole new perspective to the show.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
What do you think is the top trait of a bad dog owner? When you see somebody with a dog or know somebody with a dog, what's the top thing they can do where this dog owner doesn't have it all together? They don't know what they're doing.
Maybe like yelling at their dog?
Yelling at their dog.
I would say like screaming at their dog. Not helpful things.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
I don't do that.
You don't scream, you just spank.
I'm real patient.
You go from 0 to 10.
No, the spanking is not 0 to 10. It's like a 0 to a 6.
A 6.
I
I
think
don't
if
want to know
you're-
what a 10 is.
I
then.
think if you're yelling at your dog, because your dog doesn't understand. And so for me, when I yell at Jim, he has no reaction to that. And so I never really yell at him. I'm always just like, Jim, what the heck was that? What the heck are you thinking? I don't really raise my voice at him very often.
You think if you
except for just no. A stern no. But if I'm like screaming a bunch of words at him, I mean, he doesn't even know what no means. So he's not even going to understand that.
Yeah, but if he doesn't understand, maybe he understands your tone of voice. Instead of your tone of voice gets all riled up and you're like, Jim, what the heck is wrong with you? Do you think that would, maybe that would actually have some effect?
I don't know.
Well, I've got a list of where America's best and worst dog owners live.
Okay.
And I will tell you that I would not have guessed the top city with the nicest dog owners that take care of their dogs. The way that this was conducted was they analyzed a bunch of tweets from different locations, seeing where people were complaining about different things. So this is, if other people are complaining about you as a dog owner, then you're going to go, then in this city, it's going to be added. So the city with the least complaints per capita about dog owners was Tucson, Arizona. Tucson, Arizona, keeping it together. The stuff they were looking for complaints for was people letting their dog off the leash, their dogs barking or howling at night. People complaining about that. And then the top one, of course, not picking up after their dog.
Oh, wow. I'd be a great owner.
Yeah, you would.
Off of these standards, Jim never off the leash.
Yeah.
If he was off the leash, he would just run away. He does not bark, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And then dog mess, I mean, we just keep it in our own backyard.
That's right.
So you don't have to
Nobody
worry
else's
about
problem.
it. Yeah,
Sometimes
exactly.
your neighbors, but
yeah, just in our
what
backyard,
they
my
don't know
score
don't
would be
hurt 'em.
great.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess we would both qualify. Zafira, the dog will bark, but not like late at night. When we go to bed, she goes to bed. And actually, that's caused us some problems before. Sometimes we're like, Zafira, why didn't you bark? You're supposed to protect us. And
It's the first time you ever asked her why she didn't bark.
Yeah, somebody's trying to, busting our car window open. What are you doing, Zafira? You got to pay attention.
See, Jim has a new neighbor, right? The house behind us.
Okay.
They just got a dog, or maybe new people moved in there. I don't know, but their fence is our fence.
Yeah.
And so they can look face to face at the fence, and this dog just comes over in the past couple of days, just barks in Jim's face.
Oh, no.
But Jim has no reaction. He doesn't bark back. He's not a barking dog.
Does he do the thing?
He just stares there.
He just stands still.
He just stands completely still.
Frozen with fear.
And just stares. And I don't know if he's confused or what's, because he loves other dogs and stuff, but he does not bark. And so this other dog is barking like crazy. His parents are like yelling at him and stuff. And I'm in the backyard hanging out with Jim, and he's just staring, no barking. So for us, great dog neighbor.
Yeah, you're setting a good example.
He has a new little friend back there.
Well, Tucson, Virginia Beach, Raleigh, North Carolina, Omaha, Nebraska, and San Antonio came in as the top 5 dog owner cities. The worst cities, and this is egregious. Like if you compare the scores, it's outrageous. But Pittsburgh, Newark, Seattle, Cleveland, and Washington, D.C. were the worst 5 cities for dog owners. And if you want to drill down even further, the city that's the worst about picking up dog poop, Seattle, Washington.
Really?
Seattle, Washington was number 1. San Francisco, number 2, which does make me start to question, are they sure it's dog poop?
Could be any poop.
Could be any.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Get ready to chime in at 8772 Radio U with your ruling on this one, where we have a man in Ontario, Canada. He's been going through a 12-year-long court battle with his coworkers, where they had a lottery pool that wound up winning. They wound up hitting winning millions of dollars. But the man in question alleges that he was left out of the winnings because he was on vacation. So he paid his dues routinely every week he was there. He'd always chip in, but then the one week he goes on vacation happens to be the week they win, and so he says that he was frozen out of the lottery pool and didn't get the winnings that he rightfully deserves.
Did he pay that week?
No, he was up to date. He didn't pay that week because he was away. He
That's
paid
a tough
every
one.
week. He paid every week.
But he didn't pay that week.
But how could he pay? He wasn't there.
Well, you weren't there.
He actually, to give you some more backstory, to throw some more complications into the matter, the man, now 54 years old, his name is Christopher Bates, is actually the one who originally
Thought of the idea, wasn't he?
It was his, he got it started. Now, he wasn't the organizer, of course, at that time, but even if he was, how could he organize it on vacation? So he wasn't able to pay that week, but his dues were up to date until, of course, the week that they wound up winning. So bad timing.
That's tough. Because obviously he didn't pay for that week.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that he went on vacation or whatever. But at the same
He
time,
could have just been like, hey, we'll cover this one for old Christopher.
yeah, but you want to be splitting money with people, covering for him.
Well, it depends how reliable they are. It sounds like Christopher, my client, I guess I'm going to argue for him.
Argue for him.
Yeah, he was reliable. He paid his dues his entire time. And now all of a sudden, the 1 week he's away, we're going to say, Christopher didn't pay, so sorry, you're out, no cut.
How many guys won? How many people were a part of this whole winnings because they won how many million? 50 million?
It seems...
Is that how much it was?
It looks to me that 24 workers were the ones that were included in the winnings. And it says here that Christopher Bates was not the only one who submitted a complaint alleging that he should be included.
I'm sure everybody wanted included after they won.
But only two of them, their complaints weren't thrown out. And he wasn't even one of them.
Oh, so there's two guys that have actual real
Two guys that
complaints.
Yeah, so 24 people plus two maybe, and then this guy, and then a bunch of other complaints that nobody cares about.
See, I'm thinking that if Christopher was a well-liked guy in the office, if he really started this thing, then these guys would cut him his pay.
So you think...
I'm thinking people don't even like Christopher as is.
You think he sucks?
Because, imagine this, Hudson. Let's say this scenario happened here at RadioU, right?
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, you went on vacation, you missed dues for the week or whatever. It was originally your idea. More than likely, you're going to get your payings.
Oh, you think so?
I would say so because you're a good guy in the office. Sounds like Christopher might not be a good guy.
I wish I could say the same for you.
I know. I wouldn't be getting it.
But
I wouldn't get the pay.
I'll tell you one thing, though. And I guess I'll tell you the resolution. Again, this has gone on for 12 years, this court battle. They did reach a confidential settlement. So he's getting something. It may not be, or I guess it's probably not the cut that he would expect, but at least it's something that he's getting from these workers. But for me, I would never be playing the lottery in a lottery pool. I'd never play the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
I would organize the lottery pool and shave some off the top every time.
Smart thinking.
Then it doesn't matter how many times we lose or win or whatever because
you're always a winner.
I'm always a winner.
See, that's probably what Christopher was doing.
Yeah.
And that's why nobody wants to give him his pay.
That's right.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Now, a crazy warning from the Surgeon General yesterday. Can you name the Surgeon General?
I don't even know what the Surgeon General means. He's the general of all the surgeons, or is that some sort of doctor role?
When they say general, that means for everybody kind of type thing.
So he's the head surgeon.
Yeah, kind of, but I don't think he's doing a lot of surgery. In fact, this is crazy. I'm looking at this, okay, now I know the guy's name. Vivek Murthy is the
I
Surgeon
can't trust him.
General. Just based off of that, huh?
He sounds like an evil character in a Disney movie.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe a Pixar movie. Vivek. That sounds like a name that I can't trust.
You can't trust. Well, here's what Vivek Murthy, the Surgeon General, is saying. He's warning against teens using social media, particularly if they use it for more than 3 hours per day. I have here that 95% of people between the ages of 13 and 18 are on social media, which is crazy. 95%. You can't get 95% of people to do anything unless it's get teens on a social media. And if you spend more than 3 hours a day on social media, according to the Surgeon General, and you're a teenager, you double the risk of poor mental health and you may see content, and this is no surprise, that can trigger body image issues, eating disorders, social comparison, and low self-esteem. So at the end of the day, Surgeon General saying, if you're a teenager, stop using social media.
See, I'm looking at my usage here.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like I'm pressing about 6 hours.
6 hours a day.
On social
health?
Media. You know, I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. But I'm also not a child either.
Yeah, you're not.
Or
You're not a teenager.
I'm not like impressionable like that. But when I was a teenager, I still was probably spending that much amount of time on social media. But I'm still feeling hot. I'm feeling good.
Yeah. Well, imagine how much better you'd feel if you didn't spend all that time on social media, though.
See, I feel like for me, I use social media differently than these children must be using it.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm using it just to watch like funny videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't feel like is that damaging to my mental health.
Yeah, but
if I'm being honest.
What if those funny videos are like making fun of a certain body type or something? And then you're like, but what if that's my body type?
See, I don't look at them like that. I'm
You
just
don't
like,
see it that way?
For me, I'm just a little bit too positive, I think. I don't let it get to me like that.
Yeah.
What I think is wild is 40% of children between the ages of 8 and 12 were on social media. Now, I didn't have social media then. There wasn't even social media when I was that age. At what age do you think it's appropriate to get social media?
See, that leads me to the question I was gonna ask is, do you think the world would be a better place? Do you think we'd all be better off if you couldn't have social media until you were at least like, say, 16? I know nobody like, if you're 15, you wouldn't hate to hear that. And same here, because when I was 12, I was hopping on social media before I was supposed to.
I think I was like 13 when I got a Twitter.
Yeah.
And that was like my first thing. And then I got Instagram when I was like 14 probably. What age do I think is appropriate? I would say you got to be in high school.
Yeah.
You got to be like 15, 14. I don't know how old a freshman in high school is. 15, 14 or so.
It's tough too,
You
though.
shouldn't be 8 on social media.
No,
That's just
definitely
crazy.
not. Yeah, what are you doing if you're an 8-year-old on social media?
Go play outside or something.
Uh-huh. Watch some Bluey.
You don't need to be on social media. That's crazy.
I don't know what the right age is, but because, see, my first thought was like 16, like maybe when you get your driver's license, you can get on social media. But then before you have your driver's license, what are you doing? You got nothing going on. You got a lot of time to fill because you can't go anywhere without your mom taking you. So you spending it on social media. It seems like that's what's happening.
See, I don't know if there's a right age. I just think no matter what age, like if you're like a teenager, your parents should be able to see your social media. I think they should be able to see your comments and all your like likes and whatnot. Yeah. Because that's like what it really
That's one, yet again, something that actually probably is smart. But if you're 15 and Papa Isaiah is like, let me look at your phone, Sonny.
Oh, isn't that the worst?
Yeah.
Let me see what you're doing on there.
I'd rather not. I would rather
actually,
not.
I'm good on the old checking of the phone thing. I think I'll just keep this over here with me.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
There's a recent trend in the movie world of turning beloved childhood classics into horror movies. And that trend is continuing. The latest to get that treatment, Cinderella. A new movie called Cinderella's Curse is now being shopped. It's going up for sale. So somebody's going to be able to purchase the rights to distribute that out into the world. A horror take on one of Disney's original princess stories, Cinderella.
See, I'm not a big horror guy.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of this trend.
Are you a big Cinderella guy?
I'm okay with Cinderella.
Cinderella? What's your favorite Cinderella? There's a million of them.
The animated one?
The animated one.
Ooh. There's a 2021 one. Let's see here.
That's 20. No, there was an older one that was like the first animated movie to get remade by Disney as a live action deal.
There's a ton of Cinderellas.
I know there's a million of them. There's one going back from probably like the 90s with Brandy in it, I think. There's
2016.
There's one, I think,
97.
Sneakerella, I think, is one. I mean,
2008 with Selena Gomez.
Cinderella was one. Was the Amazon Prime one? That's the 2021 one you were talking about with James Corden.
Yeah.
And Camila Cabello, I think. So you got a favorite take?
Well, I'm just looking through now. I haven't seen any of these movies.
Do you think that
We got Ella Enchanted. We all remember that one.
maybe the Cinderella's been beaten into the ground is what I'm starting to think. Actually,
There's even
that's
a
what happens in
Cinderella.
Cinderella's Curse.
This is crazy. Twist in Time, 2007, Cinderella 2, 3, Geek. Oh my gosh.
Isaiah
I typed in. I can't even pick one.
So overwhelmed by the
because I haven't
amount
seen any of them.
Cinderella movies that have been made, the different takes on Cinderella.
When you said which Cinderella is your favorite,
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be like 3.
Well, that wouldn't have been as good of a question.
Would not have been.
Yeah, there's a lot of Cinderellas, and adding one more. So the Cinderella's Curse, that's going to be coming out eventually. I think along the same lines of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, or that was the Winnie the Pooh horror movie that came out last year. They also did the same thing with the Grinch. Now Cinderella's getting it, and to me, at least I guess it applies to the Grinch too. The Cinderella story lends itself a little bit because you remember, right? The stepsisters and her, is it her mother, her stepmother? They're horrible.
Yeah.
So it'd be no surprise.
She's out for blood.
If they were doing horrible things, yeah. Or if she was out for revenge too, that would make a lot of sense. I don't think any it's not the right thing to do, Cinderella, to take your revenge out in a violent way. But I don't think a lot of people would blame you after the way you were treated.
It could make for a good scary movie. For me, I'm out on the scary movie thing. But for somebody, clearly Cinderella is a popular thing as there is about 36 movies.
Yeah, that's right.
That they've made
There's a
of
lot
her.
of money in Cinderella.
Yeah, there is. So I guess maybe one scary one wouldn't hurt, but yet again, not for me.
It switches it up a little bit because I don't think that through all those Cinderellas, I don't think we've gotten a scary one yet.
Not that I can see.
That's all about to change.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Now, it's finally happening. If you're sharing a Netflix password, they want you to stop. And it's for real this time. Yesterday, they put out the announcement that the password sharing crackdown is happening. The new way of the world is if you have a Netflix account and there's somebody else outside of your household, that's the word they keep using, household, that keeps using it. They're going to have to pay you, or you're going to have to pay $7.99 each month extra to add them on as an additional profile. And you can only do that if you already have the highest Netflix tier, which is $15.49 per month already. It's happening, Isaiah.
How do they know, though?
I have an answer for that. They say that the home location for your Netflix account, for any Netflix account, comes from where your Netflix is used on a TV. If you're watching it on a TV, that must be your home. But here's the dilemma that I'm going to experience is I don't know. For me and my family, we share a Netflix account. I'll admit it, we do. But we all use it on a TV, or at least on a Chromecast or Roku, something like that, in multiple different houses. How is Netflix going to decide which one of us is
the home?
Yeah, the
home base.
Which one's breaking the rules?
See, I think probably it's going to be like the one who logs in first. Don't you think?
So yeah, so it's
you better get on there tonight.
Race, yeah.
Because I'm thinking
I think I can log in remotely. Maybe I should do that.
It doesn't matter like if you have multiple profiles on there, right?
No, profiles are fine, but it depends where you're using the profile.
So essentially you get one house gets Netflix.
Yeah.
You can't share between multiple houses.
One address is how I understand it.
Dang, that means I don't have Netflix anymore.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
for sure not at the home base.
No, but what if here's what I'm thinking, right? You just need to check in. This is what we heard earlier. I don't know if I see it here, but supposedly if you check in at the home base every so often, then that will be that's how you make sure that your stuff stays as part of the home account, right? So you just gotta, where you got the TV from with your Netflix account.
Oh, yeah.
So just drive past that house every once in a while.
With the TV?
Yeah, with the TV, check it in.
Gosh darn it, I forgot that it's not even like my family's Netflix.
No, that's the one.
It's this random guy's Netflix. I bought a TV off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
And I have his Netflix logged in on my TV, and that's how we have Netflix.
Yeah. This is going to suck.
No.
This is going to suck. Are you going to be okay with not having Netflix?
Should I beat him to it? You think I should beat him?
You have a TV and it's logged into Netflix, so your home very well may be the home Netflix profile.
You're right.
And then they're going to get real confused when they're not able to log into their own Netflix.
How long until they cancel, you think, if I take that over? If I just take over their account?
Actually, you know what? I don't know. I mean, they're not going to cancel. They're going to try to boot you off somehow.
They're going to try to figure it out.
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, they're the ones paying, so I feel
They've been paying. And they're active, too. I mean, Dad on the account, he's always watching shows.
How does he not notice?
What's crazy is because we always watch on Dad's account.
Yeah.
Because we assume the rest of the family just, like, doesn't mess with his account probably.
Yeah.
And he doesn't pay attention, I assume.
Clearly not.
To resume watching and things like that and what he's being recommended. He's like, it's just whatever Netflix is recommending. When in reality, it's recommending a bunch of stuff for us, like for my house. And so I'm worried. I mean, I'm probably going to lose Netflix here in the next couple of weeks as they figure out that I am in fact a poser and I'm not actually paying for it.
I think a lot of people are going to be upset here in the next few days, and as they start getting booted off Netflix accounts. For me, I think somehow I'm just going to live with it.
I mean, I'm not going to, I don't really use the Netflix as is very much. As you know, I'm not like a huge show movie watcher.
Uh-huh.
And so once I get booted off, I mean, that's the end of Netflix for me.
It would be easy to forget about it.
Yeah.
For me as well. I
still have Disney Plus and Hulu and whatnot.
Right. Got Disney Plus and
YouTube TV.
Max HBO Max and Discovery Plus just combined. So that's all that extra stuff I got to watch there. That can fill the place of Netflix.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Sorry, Netflix.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Summertime is here, and with it, depending on who you're following on the old socials, things could start to become a little more, you might see a little more skin, I would say.
It's that time of year. I mean, I'm showing more skin. I go to the pool on the weekends, make some pool pics. I'm getting ready to go to Scottsdale tomorrow. I know for sure I'm going to get some pool pics there. So it is that time of the year when everybody gets into their summer vibes on old social media.
You start seeing shirtless Isaiah, it's summertime on the old Instagram. But we also just got a warning from the Surgeon General who says, especially for teens, that using too much social media can be harmful, particularly to their mental health. Here I am, your relationship general, where I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts between Isaiah and I for social media this summer because we don't want to see it harming your relationship. So I'm going to throw out some things that if you're in a relationship, do you or don't you, or should you or shouldn't you?
Yes.
All right. Number one, you're in a relationship, following any other hot guys or gals that hot guys or gals.
Yes, these are tough questions that you're giving because I mean, for a lot of people, they're not going to understand the severity of this because to you it may not seem like, oh yeah, follow whoever you want. It doesn't really seem like a big deal, right? It's yet again for me not a big deal. For some people in the audience, this is a big deal, and so you can't just go from one day you're with your girlfriend or whatever, the next day you follow this random really attractive female, and she sees that. She's going to be thoroughly upset.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And so I would lean, it's probably safer for you if you do not know her and she's just a cute gal, probably don't follow. I would lean against the follow.
I think when you are in a relationship, the follows need to slow way down.
Oh, yeah.
You take a good, hard...
How'd you meet her? I can just imagine. I already am ready.
Yep. So you dial that back. You dial back the follows completely. Okay, what about this, though? What if it's somebody that you do know, they post a pic, you're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship with this person, are you allowed to like the picture?
Oh, it all depends on the photo.
Oh, it depends, huh?
Oh, heavy depends. I think if it's just a normal photo of them like out and about or whatever, and they're like actually your friend, and it just happens to be like a girl for me, you can like it. If it's like a bikini pic, you'd be crazy.
Bikini pics are off limits.
You'd be crazy to like that. I think that'd be wild.
Yeah.
Because for you, if she sees that yet again, she's going to be upset. I think that I would argue that you would actually be safer liking like a bikini pic of a girl that's like famous or like a celebrity or something, rather than just someone that you both happen to know, I would say. But it also depends girl to girl as well, what the relationship is.
Once again, it's similar to following. I think your likes slow way down if you're in a relationship. You like the person's posts that you're going out with, and maybe like not a whole ton others. Not a whole ton of others.
Unless it's like guys or something.
But maybe you don't like every post that your significant other makes, because then your likes lose their power, you know?
Oh, you're
but
saying,
then again, if you don't like one,
you should
then
just
it's
like
like,
them
why
all.
didn't you like that one?
Like them all.
Or like only a couple.
You better like. You should like every single picture your significant other posts, because if you don't like one of her pics, and then you go off and you're on Instagram or whatever, and you like some other girl's pics, you can be like, it's crazy that you're on here liking all her pics, and oddly enough, you can't even like mine. That's kind of crazy.
All right, you got any other scenarios to warn against?
I would just say, the likes that you're sending, if you think that liking another girl's like bikini pic or whatever, or like any kind of photo of another girl when you have a girlfriend, it's just never worth it. It's never worth it, because you're going to have a stupid argument that you think is dumb, and it will be dumb. But I'll tell you right now, she's going to be upset, and it's going to be annoying.
If you just use a little common sense, you can easily avoid the argument.
Just don't like it. Just don't like it.
Yeah. What is liking doing for you anyways?
Exactly. That's
How
always
is that
the
helping
argument.
you?
That's always the argument, is it doesn't do anything for you. You have a girlfriend.
So what's the point?
Exactly. You're just getting yourself in trouble for no reason, and then you're going to get in an argument about why you're getting in trouble yet again for no reason.
You have any concerns that could be like women getting in trouble because they like our posts and they have boyfriends, and then the boyfriend sees, and it's like, how could you like these guys? What do they have that I don't have?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm concerned about that.
I hope so.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
You know those scales at the airport? They aren't just for luggage. They can just as easily weigh people. And I know that because it just happened. We have here footage of a woman at an airport that was forced to weigh herself on the baggage scale. And the reason being is because apparently she lied, or at least they suspected she was lying about her weight.
What? Like, is it like, I've never been asked getting onto an airplane.
No,
like,
I don't think I have either.
How much do you weigh?
No, I don't think that's ever come up for me.
That's a wild question. In general.
But so typically, as I understand it, of course, I'm not, a member of the Federal Aviation Administration or anything, but the way I understand it is for big flights on big planes like we would typically use, they have an average weight, the weight of the average American, the average passenger. And so they don't need to weigh everybody. It's a big plane. They can just say, you know what, like this is about how much people weigh on average. So it'll probably balance out okay the way they have it. But on a smaller plane, it's very important because the smaller is only a few seats. One heavier or much lighter person could throw things off and make the whole flight not go according to plan. And so they do have to ask. So supposedly in this situation, that's what was going on. This woman was asked her weight. She claimed 130 pounds. And I mean, it's not just us saying this. It is the airline was saying, clearly you're not 130 pounds. And if you are, prove it. And so she had to get on the scale in front of everybody in the airport. This is for all to see.
That's the wild part. Is it's like they should have like taken her into like a room or something.
Yeah, something.
Like maybe like
I mean, they have the scale right there though.
It is right there, and I'd like get it or whatever. It's just a tough situation.
It is tough.
Like I feel like she could have just like written down, like if she didn't want to say, how much she weighed, she could have written it down. That's a good one,
right? She could have written it down
instead
just
of, like,
between her and the person at the desk.
Yeah, and just like so she didn't have to announce it.
Yeah,
but at the same time, apparently like it's a small plane or whatever, so they're trying to even out the weight of the plane, and you don't want to like put everybody's like lives at risk because you just didn't want to say how much you weighed.
Including your own.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, the plane might be going down, but at least nobody knows I'm 40 pounds heavier than I said.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you should just write it down or whatever, announce the real weight, that just for safety reasons.
I imagine if I'm putting myself in her shoes, they probably ask her her weight, and she's like, "What's the big deal?" Like they're just asking.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Not actually going to mean anything.
Facts,
I'll say 130. Save my ego, whatever. And then it turns out that they weren't just asking for fun. But that's the other thing that I was thinking about too, is that people are, upset about this or whatever. But the airline isn't just doing this to make people feel bad.
They're doing it to, they had to do it to everybody on the plane.
Yeah.
Too.
She's just the only one that clearly lied.
Yeah.
And again, they probably could have been a little more courteous and
a little more discreet.
A little more discreet for sure.
Like, hey, come over here. I don't think you're telling us the truth.
But let this be a lesson to you that lying doesn't pay off.
No.
Tell the truth, even if it's a tough, difficult truth, like how much you weigh.
Yeah, that's a really, really hard one. But, it's just like a safety thing. And everybody got asked. If it was just like 2 people that got asked, that would be different. Everyone got asked.
Everyone got asked. One person lied.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
We got a great question. This one was texted in by Nate. And if you ever want to ask a would you rather question, pose one for everybody. You can text it into 8772 Radio U. The question today from Nate, this is just a goofy one. Would you rather be able to fly 12 inches off the ground, aka a foot, as long as you're flapping your arms? So you can fly, you have to flap your arms, and it's only 12 inches off the ground. You're right near the ground. Or would you rather be able to be invisible, but only while you're screaming? Which would you choose? You can text your answer and reasoning it to 8772 Radio U. You have a lean, Isaiah, an early lean. Which way are you going?
I'm leaning.
Or first, do you have any clarification questions that you need?
I feel like this one's pretty straightforward.
We don't have to set any ground rules.
I don't think so. I'm sure someone will think of something.
I'm sure they will.
But I'm thinking flying off rip.
You're going with flying?
I think so.
And why is that?
Because I'm not much of a screamer.
Uh-huh.
If I'm being frank, it hurts my throat.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like at least with the flying, you can put that to use.
Why couldn't you put the invisibility to good use?
Because like the thing about being invisible is you don't want people to be able to know you're there.
Yeah.
But if you're screaming, they'll always know you're there.
Well, they won't know where the screaming is coming from, perhaps.
Yeah, but like when you're trying to be invisible, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to be sneaky.
Uh-huh.
Trying to sneak up on somebody, catch them doing something that they wouldn't do if you were there, say something.
Like picking their nose.
Exactly. So once you start screaming,
yeah, it's
then they're
going to change
stop
their behavior.
Whatever they're doing.
Change their behavior.
They're going to be like, what is that? Where's that coming from? Type deal. Where even if you're flapping your arms and doing the whole flying bit, at least you're able to fly.
That's a good point, but what purpose would that serve?
What are you talking about? You can go a little faster.
You think that flying is necessarily faster?
I think it's for sure faster.
I mean, running is faster.
No,
but
flying's faster than
what's
running.
more effort, flapping your arms or running?
Oh, for sure.
I don't think there is a for sure.
But if you're flying though, you're faster.
If you're
running.
If you're flapping your arms and you're 12 inches off the ground, you are possibly hitting the ground with your arms as you flap because you're so close to it as well.
No, you're not.
You are too. 12 inches. Your arm is more than 12 inches.
What are you talking about? Do you not know how to flap your arms like a bird?
You flap your whole arms, yeah. And they're going up and down.
You think you're gonna touch the floor? What are you, a monkey?
I do.
You think your hands are gonna touch the ground?
I think that's a possibility. That's a danger.
In what world are you you're so far up off the ground?
You're 12 inches off the ground.
Your feet are, not your chest.
Oh, I'm picturing flying.
You're flying like Superman?
Yeah, lying down. Yeah, that's how I was picturing it. You're flying vertically.
I'm standing up. Like how Doctor Strange
like
floats.
An angel type thing.
Yes, I'm floating.
All right.
That's how I fly.
This is a tough one. 8772 Radio U. I don't know if I've made up my mind yet. Have you made up your mind on the question of would you rather be able to fly 12 inches off the ground while you're flapping your arms or be invisible while screaming? 8772 Radio U. Will see your answers, and maybe I'll come up with mine next.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Would you rather Wednesday? Text in your answer at 8772 Radio U for today's question, which comes to us from Nate. He says, would you rather be able to fly 12 inches off the ground and only when you're flapping your arms, or be invisible, but only while you're screaming. Let us know which side you're taking. Isaiah, you're leaning to the flying ability.
Flying, flapping, yes.
Xander says doesn't happen often, but I agree with Isaiah.
That's what I like to hear.
He's flying as well. Ash says invisibility, it'd be like being a really annoying ghost. I think that's what I'm thinking too. If you're screaming and invisible, yes, people will be aware that something is there, but they won't know it's you unless they recognize your voice, right?
Yes.
But you can disguise that. You can scream in a way that people wouldn't recognize, right?
Yeah.
And then you could haunt people. Wouldn't it be fun to haunt people?
Would you rather be able to haunt or fly? Yep, it's fly, isn't it? Yep.
But I don't think flying 12 inches off the ground.
Oh, we get down here to old Jeff's answer.
What does Jeff say?
He said, if I am floating in the flying, as then you can pass without leaving a trace on the ground. If it is Superman style, I would go with screaming invisible, as it is less likely to happen by accident. Mark said, nobody said how fast you had to flap your arms. I can travel over water easily while flying.
How often does that come up?
Maybe he has a pond at his house.
Yeah.
Maybe he lives on the water.
Let's see. Susanna says flying for sure. Screaming would be terrible. It would be strain, for us as radio people and just anybody that doesn't want to put strain on your voice. All that screaming, if you did want to be invisible, that would be difficult.
And think about this too. When you scream, it obviously takes a lot of effort to scream. And if your voice starts cutting out, you're fading back in and out of invisibility. So
yeah. That's
if
true.
You can't keep a scream going. How long do you think you scream for consecutively?
How long can you scream? Because you're right. You could only haunt people for 20 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
Before you'd run out of breath and you'd have to go again. So
exactly. So then you'd flash in.
Yeah.
Mark says he does live on a lake. So.
Well, that explains that. Do you think? Now we're getting off on a different thing. But do you think if you were a ghost, how come ghosts always are haunting people?
Because they're angry.
But what if there's ghosts that, if you were a ghost, maybe for me, if I was a ghost, I'd be a fun ghost.
And what would a fun ghost do, Hudson?
I'd do fun instead of scaring people. I'd do things to entertain people.
Well, maybe. How about this though?
I'd smash a pie in somebody's face or whatever, and then everybody else in the room would laugh, type thing.
See, that would still be scary though. I think anything that you do would be considered a haunt.
I don't know.
I don't think ghosts are trying to be scary.
I need to work. You don't think so?
If you move a chair, that's called haunting.
Yeah,
it's not
that's right.
Trying.
If a visible person moved a chair, it's not scary. But when a ghost moves a chair, you're right. It's scary.
So it sounds like you're trying to work your way out of you saying that flying is the way to go here.
No, I think invisibility I'd still go with because I think there could be some uses. How about this one? Let's say you want to commit crimes. What if you're able to scream and become invisible? Then a lot of places that you might want to rob, they have cameras, but they wouldn't be able to identify you while you're screaming. So you scream, you run in there, boom, crime, boom, out. Nobody knows you were there.
John says, being that I'm a teacher, I use my voice daily teaching music students. I prefer flying. Also, this is the best reasoning yet.
Okay.
What a great way to build arm strength and upper body strength as well. I mean, if you were just flapping,
are you sure though, John?
You would for sure be jacked.
Well, if that's that easy to get jacked, why aren't we all just flapping our arms all the time anyways?
I'd love
to have to increase my measurements on the biceps.
Do this for 5 minutes. If you flap your arms like this for 5 minutes, you're gonna start feeling your shoulders and your biceps. All of a sudden, if you're doing that nonstop just to float around,
Nikki in the studio would just walk around to get her steps in.
Yeah.
It'd be even crazier than doing that is if I was flapping every time we weren't talking.
Instead of building leg muscles,
I come back out of breath and you're it's sorry, I was flapping. I was doing my flapping exercise.
That would be weird.
That would be totally weird. What a great would you rather question.
It ended up being a good one.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. 8772 RadioU if you've got a good one.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
What is, if you could build a breakfast filled with items from various different restaurants, you just, instead of just going to one place and I'm eating here, you can mix and match from all the different restaurants and just choose your ultimate breakfast meal.
Just whatever you want.
That's the question. You can text in at 8772 RadioU, but here's what I'm discovering is that if you say build the ultimate fast food meal, everybody would be like, here's my favorite burger. Here's my favorite fries. Like the fries are better here than here. With breakfast foods, it's different. If I said, where's the best scrambled eggs?
They're all the same.
Do you have a strong opinion on whether IHOP or Denny's or Waffle House scrambles the best eggs?
Yeah, it's way different.
I feel like if I went and ate at each of them, I'd be able to make up my mind. But off the top of my head, I don't know who makes them good and who doesn't.
Yeah, but I think that's the difference between comping restaurants and fast food. Like if I asked you who has the best breakfast fast food pancakes, you know what your answer is. It's McDonald's.
Okay, for fast food, yeah.
Yes,
You're right.
But I think for restaurants, it makes it way harder because you're like comping Bob Evans pancakes to IHOP's pancakes.
Yeah.
Which of those are better?
That's
I mean, they're
difficult.
both really good.
It's a tough call.
It is a tough call. And so how is it? We've got some people texting in as well. Xander said Bob Evans Cinnabon pancakes, orange juice, no pulp, and some bacon, not too crunchy, not too chewy.
All right, going with Bob Evans. Susanna, I like this. Susanna's a Tim Hortons fan.
I love Tim Hortons.
I do.
I love it.
They have a good breakfast. They have great coffee. I was going to pick Tim Hortons black coffee as my choice because I like Tim Hortons coffee a lot. Big fan of that. She also would go with a Boston cream donut. That's a good choice. And then bacon breakfast wrap.
Okay.
So we got some people that kind of sticking with one restaurant or another. I'm trying to build a good mix and match here. So here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I know my main course would be. I'm a big sausage, gravy, and biscuits guy.
Okay.
Biscuits and gravy. And so that I trust Cracker Barrel to do that properly for me.
Okay.
A nice
Cracker
southern
Barrel.
establishment. I also want some home fries. I like hash browns.
I like home fries too.
I love the shredded hash browns. I hate when you go to a fast food place and they don't have hash browns. They really have what amounts to tater tots, the little discs.
Not the same.
No, you either need a shredded hash brown, which obviously be tough to eat on the go, or you need like one of those big hash brown patties. So that's why McDonald's excels in that area. But home fries though, are my preferred option, and I feel like I'm trying to think. Do you know a place that does good home fries off the top
Bob
of
Evans has fire
That's what I was
home
thinking.
fries.
That was the first one that
They
jumped
have
to mind.
really good
as well.
home fries at Bob Evans.
And then I want
They're
some
always
bacon.
real crispy.
I want some bacon as well, even though eggs would
love
be a
bacon.
close call too. I like eggs as another side dish. Bacon, I mean, who does better or worse bacon?
I can tell you just some bad bacon. I can tell you where to find that.
Who's that?
McDonald's bacon.
You don't like their bacon?
It's just not crispy enough.
What about Wendy's?
I've never had Wendy's bacon.
You haven't, not even on a sandwich?
I mean, like a junior bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a whole
good.
sandwich called a Baconator. They better be able to do
Yeah.
bacon pretty well.
You would think they would.
And then, maybe I'll just say Wendy's bacon. Although I feel like
you're gonna get Wendy's bacon.
you're probably gonna get a better bang for your buck at Waffle House or something, though. You know, like they probably give you more.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then Tim Hortons black coffee. You got some answers?
Yeah, I have some answers here. I'm gonna go with one of my sides. I'm gonna do I'll start with my entree.
Okay,
My entree, I'm doing just pancakes from IHOP.
good choice.
I mean, any of the ones.
It's in the name.
There's a myriad of choices there. I'm probably doing something like a strawberry banana type pancake.
yeah,
I'm a
going
real
fancy.
big fruit guy. But it's just IHOP pancakes overall, best pancakes. And then for my sides, this is where I went. I'm gonna go to Chick-fil-A. I'm gonna get some chicken minis.
Oh, does that count as a side? I mean, I guess it does.
That's
yeah.
a side.
They're mini.
They're the minis. They're called minis.
Yeah.
I'm going there. I'm also going to Denny's, grabbing some hash browns. I like Denny's hash browns. And then I'm gonna cap it off by going to McDonald's and getting one of their hash browns. So I think the McDonald's hash browns are still undefeated, real crispy.
They are real good, especially when they're nice and greasy.
I'm double
I love
hash
that.
browning there, and then for my drink, I'm getting a smoothie from Smoothie King. I'm probably getting like the Island Impact.
Fancy. Silas says, don't leave out Cracker Barrel. They have good eggs and pancakes. But he also likes Chick-fil-A for breakfast. Chick-fil-A probably does have the best, like one of the best breakfasts for fast food.
That's the best one. Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah. And then we did get a text in from Dee. She's from Texas, and she's got a big list of great local places it looks like in Texas. I'm sure that'd be lovely to try.
Some pecan pancakes.
Whoa.
Some smoked apple bacon, chorizo tacos, sausage and gravy biscuits.
Chorizo for breakfast. That's always an aggressive way to go, but I like it.
Oh, I like the aggressive way too.
Man, I want some breakfast now.
I know. I might have to get a second breakfast after the show.
Yeah, that's right.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.